All right, welcome to another episode of the Jumping the Rail podcast here on the JTR Podcast Network. This is Mark Reb and Kelly Two from the Noodles position in Champaign, Illinois, joined as always by my buddy Minderz. And it's put a little double duty this week after Sunday.
Sunday was so fun.
Are you still giddy?
I am. I'm still giddy.
Well, for those that forgot, we had an interview with one king of the streets, Angel Medina. I'll let you do the proper introduction.
All right, it's the ECW original kingpin, Angel Medina, king of the streets.
Yeah, I could tell he enjoyed your intro on Sunday.
He did. I was excited, but man, our conversations—they were great.
You're burying the lead, by the way.
Why?
I'm an honorary member of the Baldies now.
You are an honorary member of the Baldies. Because that was the first question I asked him, was if you could be an honorary member.
I got to get an Adidas shirt and
pants.
Then I think I have to be more up on my trimming regimen on the head.
Sean, yes, we are.
Oh,
Give us time.
We're doing Battleground, Double or Nothing, and Saturday Night's Main Event predictions this evening.
Yes.
So we're going to cover all of it, especially since we don't have a guest today, so we have a little bit of time to get into it. All right. So first things first, Minderz. Like we said, we didn't do any of the extra stuff on Sunday. It was just all interview. It is up on YouTube. It dropped as a podcast on Sunday night on all of our platforms.
He shared it on his page too.
He shared on his page. I think that's
it. I sent him the link.
Yeah, I don't think it's on the Patreon. I don't think I put it there, but it is on the YouTube if you want to check it out. And he's coming back because
oh my gosh,
we didn't even scratch the surface with Angel. We got so much more to talk about with him.
We didn't even get into Dutch Mantel. We didn't get into any of that.
No. Oh, we will.
Oh, we will. Especially now that I feel like
he wants to.
Yeah, and I feel like we have a good.
It's not like Tank where he's blindsided.
Right.
Despite my best of intentions.
Well, I think Tank would even come back on and talk to us. I
bet he would. Tank's a good egg. He's a good guy. Plus, he's a handsome man.
Yeah.
He looks like he could be my older brother.
You know what I haven't watched yet?
Raw?
No, I did. I watched Raw.
Oh, okay. What haven't
I watched? You've been proud of me. I watched this morning. I started off. I watched SmackDown, then I watched Raw, and then I went back and caught up on NXT.
Very nice.
And in the middle of all that, I also watched LFG.
I was going to say, yeah, we got to do our LFG update because they had the winners this weekend.
The winners were announced this weekend.
And you are half spicy.
I'm half spicy.
All right, well, before we get into all that stuff, we got to check your brain, make sure that everything's cooking.
Don't count on it.
All right. All right, it is time for Name That Wrestler. Minderz, you know how this works. I show you an old picture, you guess who it is. And this time it is a picture of a wrestler in their youth. Like last week when I showed you a picture of the guy now from...
Which didn't help me at all.
No, you really kind of struck out on Monty Brown last week.
Tanked. I tanked.
Did you watch the video I sent you, though? Of his,
I didn't get a chance. Do you realize how busy I've been?
It was a 2-minute video.
So, well, I'm sorry. You didn't watch the 6-minute match that I told you to watch either. So
I'm sorry. I was a little busy.
Uh-huh.
As you can see, my backdrop is on its last legs. I couldn't get it to extend all the way up because the bolt broke off on it. So you can kind of see a couple of my wedding pictures on the wall back there.
Yeah, it's all right.
But,
we all know you're married.
Yeah, that's true. She's the one thing most people like about me.
True story.
All right. Anyway, we're getting off track here, Minderz. So this is an old picture. This is not a current wrestler. This is a wrestler from our younger days.
Okay.
And it is a color photo.
Okay.
All right.
But they're
Ready?
not current.
Not current.
Okay.
That's some bushy eyebrows.
Those are some bushy eyebrows. Hint, please.
I'm going to guess that in this picture he has more teeth than we know him to have.
Okay, it's not Mick.
No.
Okay. Next.
You've been watching a lot of him on our Wednesday afternoons.
Okay, so that means it's extreme.
I got one more hint.
Balls?
You didn't need the third hint. Very nice. Balls Mahoney of Nutley, New Jersey.
He looks weird without the facial hair.
He's got.
Good call, AJ. Proud of you.
He's wearing something with sleeves. He's
Right.
Looks like he's showered.
Right.
I say all this with due respect to the late great Balls Mahoney because he is one of my favorites, but he looks kempt in this picture.
He does.
It's quite contrast to the guy on the right.
Well, you know what? It was actually the eyes that gave it away, which is weird, but that's.
I see it.
Yeah.
Looking at it side by side, I can see it.
Yup.
All
hey,
right.
By the way, we were having that discussion earlier. I figured out who's on each team.
Oh, okay. Real quick, a quick rest in peace to Mr. George Wendt. Just got announced before we went on the air.
We were just on.
We went on a ramble session that you would be proud of. That we usually would be doing on the air, but we actually got it done before we came on the air. So
had to do with MASH.
Yes.
We'll just leave it at that.
Because we're old.
Yep. Although I chuckle because I think Angel thought we were a lot younger than what we are.
He might have.
Because some of the things he was suggesting, I was like, yeah, we're not that much older. We remember those things.
No.
Or we're not that much. No, I take it back. We're not that much younger. We remember.
Because he was like name checking shows from the 90s.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, we've been there. We saw those. Yep, sure did. All right.
Well, let's get into the hoots and Judies here, Minderz. So, starting as usual with the hoots.
You want to go first?
I'm going to go first.
Okay.
And my hoot has nothing to do with pro wrestling, but kind of, but mainly because it's such a really cool accomplishment. I'm giving my hoot to Darby Allin, who summited the mighty Mount Everest on Sunday morning, and and sure enough, as I hoped he would, he planted an AEW flag on Mount Everest.
Yep. Did you see the meme?
There's a meme?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see a meme. Minderz? I think Darby is the one in the front on the right.
That would be my guess. So there's a meme that has that picture.
Uh-huh.
Underneath of it, there's a picture of Truth with the WWE flag on Mars, saying that Truth was the first one to climb Mars. And it was funny. It was great. I loved it.
Truth.
Oh, Truth.
Truth. Who I believe almost made hoot for you this week before you called an audible.
I did call an audible.
But no, seriously though, I know we made a lot of jokes about Darby and climbing Mount Everest when he could be wrestling, but I mean, it's something you can always say he did, and it's awesome.
Well, it's more of a. I feel like his show needs him right now.
His show really does need him right now.
They need him right now, but.
How many chances are you going to get to climb Mount Everest?
Exactly, and he's not getting any younger. So
set a world record for the highest kickflip while climbing Mount Everest.
Yeah.
So
now he's just got to make it back down.
He's already down.
Oh, is he already down?
He's already made it down. So now he's just got to make it to the States.
Yep.
Which I would assume he's already back because it's been 3 days. So
understandable.
Yeah. All right. Well, moving on. Minders, your hoot, madam.
Well, like Reb said, originally before I went back and watched NXT, I was going to go with Truth because of his promo on Friday. Is it Friday?
That's when SmackDown is, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't remember I can never remember which one they're on. But anyway, then I watched NXT. And I decided that I'm actually going to give my good hoot of the week to Miles Bourne from New Catch Crew. Or New Quarter Catch Crew.
No quarter catch crew, yeah.
No Quarter Catch. I can't. Blah.
It's a tongue twister. Dempsey's Boys.
There you go. Dempsey's Boys. Actually, this kid won a number one contenders match to go against Ova, which I'm not sure if that is
It's happening. It's happening on Sunday.
Yes, which I'm not sure if that's necessarily a good thing or if it's a punishment. I'm not sure.
It's one of those. The good news is you have a title shot. The bad news is you wrestle Oba.
Exactly. There you go. And I do remember saying, and I could be wrong, I may need to go back and watch, but I was pretty sure I mentioned something about I had noticed that he had speech issues.
Mm-hmm.
Come find out, he is partially deaf. So AJ, there you go. There you go, AJ. And that's the reason his speech is so wonky. So he's doing it he said, I want to prove to all those people that have disabilities that does not make them disabled of doing things. And it was actually a really good admirable promo. Yeah, he got a really good promo.
Yeah.
And then of course
kind of like Crazy Steve, how he's legally blind.
Right. But Ethan Page came out. Golly go.
I did see this.
Did you see this? He actually
He's such a good heel.
He convinced Miles to put up his number one contendership. So if
in a very condescending and disrespectful way, might I add.
Oh yes. Saying, if you're brave enough, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Long story short, Miles agreed to do it, which was this past week on NXT.
Mm-hmm.
And holy crap, Miles did a really good job with Ethan.
Miles is really good.
He really is. Like, I'm more and more impressed with him every time I see him. So, but he had the drop kick 2 weeks ago. He had the drop kick heard around the world, which he knocked Ethan Page out of their battle royal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the whole reason he's got this shot. So, good to you, sir.
Yes.
Good luck.
AJ has thrown his hoots and Judy's in. My good hoot is Penta and AJ Styles because tag teams should have matching gear. And I actually sent a message to the group about that when I saw the match last night. I said, props to those guys for matching.
Yeah.
He says, and we'll jump to Judy's. His good Judy is Raquel Rodriguez. When Roxanne showed up to give her Judy's man chicken nuggets, she showed her the door. Those are the actions of a good Judy. Yeah, Raquel wasn't having it.
No. Did like the fact, well, we'll get into it more here.
Yeah, we'll get into it when we talk about Raw. All right, so to continue with the Judys, I'll give my good Judy to Tiffany Stratton after the main event on Friday.
That was a good match.
Really good match, which is saying something because Nia was the opponent.
Right? Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a good match.
It was. Got a little color at the end.
Yep.
Bubba had a lot to say about that today on Busted Open.
Oh, did he?
Because there were people saying that Tiffy might have been unsafe with the drop kick and she might have been too stiff. And Bubba placed the blame squarely on the broad shoulders of Nia Jax because, according to him, she was holding the chair too far out. So when it got drop kicked, it came right into the. You said the trick is, and I don't want to say the trick because I'm not a wrestler. But He said when he would take the Van Damme from Van Damme, he would always try to keep the chair as close to him as possible so it wouldn't slam into his head. He'd have a control.
Right.
And Nia did not do that, so that's why she got popped in the head. I mean, the color looked good.
Yeah.
But the match itself overall was good. I mean, take away the Naomi Bianca interference spot. But
okay, so I'm going to just ask you since her name got brought up. Did you happen to notice that when Tiffy was talking to Jade before that match, when they were in the back, did you happen to notice Naomi was standing in the background?
I did. But she's hard to miss.
She really is when she's wearing, bright yellow caution tape.
Mm-hmm. Just like I noticed last night, in the background, somebody's segment, New Day was walking with Waller.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Your Judy.
Well, my Judy is kind of a mixture.
She was busy.
She was real busy this weekend. But it's going to be the only. Well, let's see. We'll call her Natty Neidhart. There she is. And she did lose at the NWA show this weekend.
Mm-hmm. I heard it was a very good match, though. It hasn't aired yet.
I would say it hasn't aired yet, but I've heard it was really good. And then her match last night with Becky and
Roxy.
Roxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really good. And
Natty was kind of the glue in that match.
And they're teasing us with getting the Natty that we want.
We want Bloodsport Natty.
We want Bloodsport Natty. But they're teasing us with a Bloodsport Natty because even the way she wrestled last night was more... I don't want to say serious because she's always been known to be one of the more serious wrestlers, but maybe more aware? Is that maybe what the word is I'm looking for?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I want a more serious Natty. I want one that's not Maxine Dupree's little buddy.
Yeah, she's not farting with the Great Khali.
Right.
I'm sending you a link to her appearance on Busted Open yesterday because I want you to hear what she had to say on there. So just something to check out after we're done.
There you go, AJ. Let Natty get in there and stretch him like Grandpa Stu used to. There you go.
She kind of did. She put sharpshooter on both girls. And we're going to get into my issues with that match when we talk about Raw. But my issues had nothing to do with anybody in the match.
Okay.
But anyway, let's move on to Stooge of the Week, Minderz.
All right.
And I'm actually...
Which actually isn't anybody on Stoogemore.
Nobody on Mount Stoogemore. And actually, I'm kind of going to leap to the defense of AEW on this one. Because Saturday, they got...
We had a debate.
they kind of got the shaft a little bit. So our Stooge is TNT.
Gotcha.
The TNT network. Because they cut Collision off by a good half hour to show Black Adam, which is hilarious if you think about it. But
I didn't realize what they cut to.
They cut to Black Adam.
That's funny.
But
how much did Rock pay him?
But it sucks for Tony though, because they're supposed to get 2 hours.
Right.
And I don't remember what the matches were. I think it was the Sons of Texas #1 contender match. I think it might have been the main event. But
wasn't there like 2 or 3 matches still
There's like
left?
2 matches left, yeah. Because it was like they cut right after they did the Mongo tribute with Flair and Malenko. And if they hadn't gotten Stooge for this, if they would have cut off the Mongo tribute, they would have definitely gotten Stooge for me this week.
How would we have known they did a Mongo tribute though if they cut it off?
Flair was tweeting about it.
Oh, was he? Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But they did air it. It showed.
Good.
On TV. But yeah, TNT, I mean, yeah, it's one thing if they're cutting, if they would have, I don't know if they told Tony, hey, we're cutting off by half hour, so time it appropriately, which I could see. And then Tony maybe didn't do that. Or if they that they might have just forgotten, hey, I forgot we have a wrestling show on Saturdays and Black Adam's got to come on at 8:30 because I want to see how long is Black Adam, because if it's 2.5 hours long, I can see.
I don't think it is.
I don't think so, but I'm gonna look it up.
I bet you. Ooh.
What? Oh, you're looking for the music?
Where's that?
Let's see.
You're gonna beat me, I think, because I can never find this damn music.
Oh shoot! Okay, hang on. I've found Black Adam on Wikipedia, but not the movie. I found just the. There we go. Film.
Did you change it? Oh wait, I didn't go down far enough.
Let's see, running time 125 minutes, so just over 2 hours in length. So,
yeah, but here's the thing, though: they always cut those things down. They always cut out parts.
That's true.
So they needed to. So they needed to. They needed that extra half hour. Well, they might need that extra. The advertisements they got for those might be more than what they get for.
The TV runtime is. It was like it was still 2 hours and 5 minutes. It looks like they just stared at the full length.
So that's only 5 minutes. Then that's not a half hour.
Yeah, they didn't have to preempt Dynam or Collision for that. So Tony, we got your back on this one. I think you got fucked over a little bit. That damn Rock.
Well, all right. Yeah, because I mean that movie's really not worth. Never mind.
I've heard that's not even that great of a movie.
It's not that great of a movie.
I've heard that's kind of like the Green Lantern of the 2020s.
It is. I haven't sat and watched it, and it's for that reason that I have not sat and watched it.
No. Do they have to call him Black Adam? I mean, that's kind of
right. All right, let's exactly. Put up the big Ubangy face on there. Yeah. I can't talk today.
Oh, you're good. All right. Well, Minderz, let's. I'm trying to debate.
Where do we want to go next?
Do we do predictions? Do we talk about Raw?
How about we talk about what happens and we'll do our predictions at the end?
You know what? Let's talk LFG first. That happened on Sunday.
Let's do that. I mean, there's not a whole lot to say. It just came down to the final.
But you do have opinions.
I do have opinions. I'm not real happy either, and I'm sure Bully had opinions.
Oh yeah.
Well, so I'm sure he had, huh?
So did LaGreca.
Oh, I'm sure.
They were both kind of up in arms about the
women's final.
The women specifically, not the guys necessarily.
I would say the guy. Okay, we'll start with the guys. Because it came down to Shiloh from the Undertaker's team and Jasper Troy from Booker's team. And for the past 3-4 weeks, I've been real high on Jasper Troy.
Yes.
Real high on Jasper Troy.
Well, he's very tall.
They came out. I'm looking for it. Where is it at? Whoops, that's the wrong thing. All right. Anyway, it was Jasper Troy and Shiloh. It was a really good match. It was a very good match. Although I completely agree with what they did, and they ended up picking Jasper Troy. So Jasper Troy got his NXT contract. Now, I'm trying to figure out where he's going to fit in all of this, and I'm still not sure. Because, see, this all actually happened back in March.
Right.
So this was already decided back then. So, yeah. I'm interested to see, because they ended up having, I know on NXT last week, they had Tyra May Steele and Xena Sterling on there, on the show, saying how, hey girls, this weekend you guys decide, blah, 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 blah. And all the women came out.
Was it the week before that when Taker brought a bunch of the guys out to talk to Oba?
Could have been. I didn't watch the beginning week. I just watched the highlights that they had on this week.
So. It was like either 2 or 3 weeks ago, they did a backstage with Taker and Oba, and all the LFG guys were with Taker.
Nice. But yeah, Jasper Troy won. More power to his little girl was there cheering him on. She was so nice. Cute. I mean, picture EJ going like this the entire time. It was great. So, and it's nothing against Shiloh. Shiloh did a great job in the match too. I don't think Jasper would have looked as good as he did without it being Shiloh in there. Mm-hmm. It's not going to be long. We're going to see both of those guys. Shiloh's going to be on NXT eventually. In fact,
I think didn't they say that the 2 runners-up were going to be on LFG next season?
Yes. They'll be on LFG next season.
Because I think I heard Bubba say that on Busted Open yesterday.
Yep. they announced that, so that's exciting. The only problem I have with that is, in all honesty, I think both of them are ready now, that they don't really need to wait until LFG next year. I think they could be ready beforehand. And I think with them postponing it, they're actually just giving them more of a chance to get injured before they could get some use out of them. But that's just me. I'm just saying, they're good enough to be in the ring now.
Okay.
So that's the one I'm not hot about. The one I'm hot about is Zena Sterling and Tyra May Steele.
Mm-hmm.
They were wrong. They were so wrong. They were so wrong. Little Miss, it was a really good match.
Stupid.
Yeah. Zena actually said she came down on her knee too hard. She had her knee in a brace the entire time. The beauty of that, and I'm giving all of this credit to Zena, she sold that knee throughout that entire match, and it was awesome. Like, it was the best sell job I'd seen in a really long time. But she had to wear a brace on it, all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It came down to the end, though, and I wonder if that didn't have a lot to do with their choice. Because they ended up going with Tyra May Steele.
So maybe they were worried that Zena was hurt and
let her recoup.
I
wonder. Yeah, I wonder. But I was not happy.
How did they choose the winners? Was it the coaches decided, or did they?
Sean did.
Sean decided.
Sean did. Yep.
Okay.
Sean decided. And then, of course, Taker got the belt, the LFG belt, for the coaches. So.
Because he got the most points.
He had the most points at the end of the show. So, and then everybody was laughing. He's like, gee, or he made the comment. He says, I don't even have a wrestling school, and here I won the belt. Which, of course, was a little bit of a jab at Book and
Bubba.
Bully, yeah. But Taker goes, yeah, when the coaches need help, they come and get it from me. And I was like, oh, ow.
It's hard to be humble when you're the Undertaker.
It kind of is. I mean, I don't hate him for it. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was funny.
I mean, shit, are they going to say something?
No, hell no, they ain't going to say shit. Hell no. All right, so now I'm curious. What did Bully and LaGreca have to say? Because we know Bully's been high on Xena.
They're both high on Xena. They both kind of sound like you.
I heard she was on LFG. Or on Busted Open.
Xena was not. She's going to be on Busted Open After Dark tonight, though. On Sirius.
Well, Xena was at one point, because they actually.
At one point, she was a call-in. Like, not yesterday, but she was like a few weeks ago.
Okay, because they showed her there at the studio.
Mm-hmm.
With them.
Yeah.
Doing the whole thing. So, yeah.
But yeah, she came on about a month ago, I think, to do an interview. But
about a month ago, probably, when they decided the victor?
Probably. But she didn't have boo-boo job voice on there when I listened, so.
Well, she did but she did that before she knew what the result was.
Right. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But no, Bubba said he was very surprised because they thought that Tyra didn't need it because she already had the gold medal to fall back on, and she was going to probably get called up anyway.
You want my true opinion?
I would love your true opinion.
I think Tyra did need it, but I think they need to get Xena on there quick. I don't want them to wait a year on her. She's ready.
Yeah.
She's ready, and she can tell a story, and she's good at the story, and she's the oxymoron. So they need to get her in there. But at the same time, I'd rather they send Tyra in there at this point. Let her get lost in the mix.
Put her in the no quarter catch crew.
There's already somebody in that one.
Oh, there's already a girl in there. What's her name? Izzy Dame. Yeah.
Izzy Dame. Yeah. So there you go. There's LFG update, and you won't have to listen to it anymore after today. So
Not till next season.
Until next season. Until next season.
Indeed. All right. Well, Minderz, let's talk a little Monday Night Raw. I got a few things to talk about here.
You want to start with SmackDown or Raw? Or do you want to talk too much SmackDown?
We kind of covered the high spots from SmackDown, which is Truth and Tiffy and Nia.
Yeah.
But
basically, tag team. That was. I'm aggravated with Fraxium.
You mentioned that to me. You thought they were getting a little sloppy.
They're starting to move so fast, they're getting sloppy.
They need to slow down.
And I don't mean that they have to slow down a lot, but there was a couple times that because of how fast they were going, knocked people over and put them out of places that they needed to be for the next move. And I didn't know if you caught that, because I know there was one that Ciampa had Axiom maybe.
It's pretty easy to tell the difference between the two of them.
Yeah, but I just don't remember.
Was it the guy with the hair or the guy with the mask?
Shut up. Although I am excited to see the Beards coming back.
It will not take him long to go with Beard. He is a man.
No. I was going to say, it's not taking him long at all. And it's already starting to look pretty nice. So, but yeah, I'm frustrated with them. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Fraxium. You know I like Fraxium.
Oh yeah.
But they're moving almost too fast or trying to prove too much that it's getting sloppy.
Are they trying to get their shit in? Is that what you think it is? Or is it just maybe the nerves?
I don't think it's nerves. The reason I say that is because you're there. You've already got there.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't have. I mean, I know you feel like you got to.
It might just be they're excited and they're.
It could be, but they need to slow down a bit.
So that's where the veterans need to step up there and.
Yeah.
Say, hey, take a breath.
And maybe it's the fact that they're wrestling with guys that are closer to the same height and same size.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, Angelo, Dawkins, and Montez are both bigger. A lot bigger than they are.
I think they would benefit from being in the ring with like the machine guns.
Yeah.
They can call the match and kind of mentor them a little bit as far as the pacing.
Even with Ciampa and Gargano, I thought they would be okay, but they just got moving too fast, and they're used to the bigger guys being able to stop them and catch them.
Mm-hmm.
Where we're about the same size you are, so hitting us like that, you're going to knock us off balance and things like that. So I don't know.
Okay.
But that was I just wanted to bring that up because I was agitated.
No, it's valid.
But
I don't like that the Cubs and the Marlins are tied at the moment. The Marlins aren't that good. All right. So let's get into Raw. It starts off with Gunther and Logan Paul in the ring.
No, it started out with Logan Paul coming out because Gunther didn't come out till later.
Right. Well, yeah, Gunther interrupted, but the thing that stuck out was Gunther's words for Logan.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of sunned him.
Dude, he put McAfee over.
He put McAfee over.
McAfee's like, yeah, I still hurt. Well, duh.
I kind of appreciate McAfee still slightly selling the ass kicking. It's been a little over a week.
Did you catch the bet that's going on?
I did. I sent a message to the group about it. We're trendsetters.
Yeah. Apparently
it rolls on the NBA Eastern Conference Finals. So McAfee's an Indianapolis guy and Cole's a New York guy. So the bet is if the Pacers win and go to the NBA Finals, then Michael Cole has to call an episode of Raw in a tank top, which I don't think anybody wants.
No, please, dear God, no.
And if the Knicks win, then McAfee has to call it in a suit. Like, full suit. He will be so uncomfortable.
I'm okay with it. It would be, but...
He will not be comfortable in the suit.
He won't be comfortable, but at least people won't mind seeing him in a suit. Where
this is true.
Michael Cole in a tank top is...
Now, does Cole also have to wear a ridiculously oversized belt buckle and cowboy boots?
God, I hope so. Part of me kind of wants it to happen just because I want to be able to have Michael Cole be our stooge of the week. But
Hey, you know what? If Michael Cole loses the bet and does that, he will not get Stooge of the Week because he is a man of his word.
So he might get Hoot of the Week. How about
if Michael Cole loses the bet, then McAfee gets Stooge for suggesting it.
All right. Anyway, back to Gunther and Logan Paul.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gunther kind of big boyed him, and as he was leaving, then Jay came in from behind and kicked him in the face. Kind of got one up on him after all the punches in the face.
Yep.
More of a teaser for main event.
For now.
Hang on, we'll get there. Okay.
Yes.
Hang on, because we got to talk about that main event here in a bit. Jay
we'll talk about the main event a little bit later. Yeah.
But I get the big story came out of Raw last night was Zoe Stark. That looked bad.
My god, that looked so
bad. The worst thing I did today was look at the freeze frame of her leg. The girl. Yeah, she tore probably every ligament and cartilage in that. I think it was her right knee. I was
so excited for her too.
Yeah,
because we haven't seen her in a while.
No, and I mean, Kairi Sane's first match back on that, so it was. I was excited to see it because I don't like seeing those go in there. Plus, they had Rhea with them, but
right.
Yeah, Zoe went for something she's done a million times. That springboard dropkick.
Off the top rope.
There's another thing Bubba was kind of getting into on the show because he pointed out something, and I had to go back and watch it after he said it. Apparently, Kairi was a little out of position, and Zoe tried to pull up, and she planted her leg, and then that's what messed up. And I think Bubba attributed to ring rust because it's Kairi's first match back in.
I mean, that's legit.
It's legit. Nothing malicious, just an honest mistake. But
yeah,
it just sucks for Zoe so bad.
It does.
Is that the same knee she had surgery on before?
I think so. Oof. So that means she's got to do it again.
She's gonna be out for a while.
Kevin. Hi, Kevin. Yeah. So. But going back and watching that, because I didn't watch last night, because I've discovered that I like watching it the next day when I don't have to worry about the commercials, because I don't have the Netflix that you do, Reb.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what they showed during the commercial because they went to after she got hurt. Number one, they got the camera off of her, which I thought was good.
Yes.
And then they cut to a shot of the briefcase and they faded out to commercial. But then when they came back, because I've got the tier where you can see what's going on in the ring during the commercial break, and same deal. They didn't show Zoe. They let the doctor do his thing in there, and you could see the referee talking to Rhea, which I can only assume. I think Zoe was probably supposed to take the pin.
Probably.
So I'm guessing that the ref was relaying whatever came from the back to
I'm sure. I'm guessing she probably was just because they'd want to keep Kairi looking strong for the simple fact that it was her first match back. So
right. But yeah, so they never showed a replay of it. They didn't even show Zoe getting carried out. They just kind of
they had fan footage of it though today on. You could find it.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But it's I like that policy of how they do that because remember when Alley Catch got hurt at the Hammerstein when she broke her leg, and they kind of did the same thing. I mean, they still showed Alley on the floor, but once they realized what it was, they cut it out. They didn't cut it out, but they got other shots. They didn't show the.
Oh, they said she did end up breaking it.
Oh, damn.
Oh. Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it.
Yep. Yeah, because you haven't an update all day that I'd seen, so I'm glad.
Yeah, I hadn't seen anything. Yeah.
Well, that sucks.
So that really sucks.
She kind of sitted herself a little bit then.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a compound fracture. I think it was just a. I mean, I assume because he was wearing pants.
Right.
So
yeah, we don't know.
I don't know. I don't want to know.
And I don't want to. I don't want to see it. Yeah.
No. But the main thing is a speedy recovery to Zoe Stark. We're fans. We like her work.
We like Zoe.
We think she's cool, and it sucks. And one of the worst things that you can label a wrestler as is injury prone, and I don't want to see her getting that label, but I feel like it's coming.
I do too.
Especially if it's the same knee every time. Oh, Kevin's asking, did she break her leg? I don't know.
I don't know.
What I heard when they were talking about it today on Busted Open, I think they were speculating that it was a torn up knee.
Yeah, because the way it
looked like they tore up that knee. So I'm hoping. I'm going to look see if they have any updates on them.
I was just going to her ex actually.
Let's see, 19 hours ago. Someone says gruesome knee injury. No shit.
Yeah. Nope, they don't have anything.
Michael Cole noted it looked like Stark re-injured her knee in 2021. She'd suffered a torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus, requiring a lengthy rehab. So, like I said, that's all speculation. But
yeah,
I mean, when you have knee problems, that gets in your head, Minderz. I tell you from experience. And every little thing you think, you don't want to tear that knee up again.
Well, even with my foot.
Yeah.
I'm the same way because they even told me, they said, that metal plate in there's probably going to eventually wear out and break. So I'm just waiting for it now. So I try not to step on anything awkwardly. You really watch what you do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in my case, I had complete reconstructive knee surgery about 15 years ago. And even now, like if I'm walking on like a slippery surface or something, I don't want to take that one step. And it's not even about falling with me. It's like, I just don't want my leg to jerk just enough to tear up all the ligaments
all the work that you had done. You don't want to go through all that again. Yeah.
No, especially since that would affect my ability to do my shoot job, so.
Right.
I mean, you didn't have a walking around job like I did when you broke your foot, but still, it affects your ability to get to work,
It affects your way to get to work. It actually, it affects everything you do. Everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got to figure out new ways to do it all.
Yeah.
So.
But
all right,
but yeah.
Let's move on. I don't want to talk about this.
Hopefully we get an update soon, and hopefully it's not as bad as it looked, because sometimes you can be fooled.
We can hope.
Yeah.
But I'm not holding out too. Yeah, I'm not holding out too much hope because it looked really gnarly.
It looked really bad.
Yeah.
All right. So that was in the second Money in the Bank qualifying match. Rhea did win that match. Mm-hmm. She pinned Kyrie, so she qualified. The first one was the Natty, Becky, Roxy three-way.
Mm-hmm.
And you gave Natty Judy the week for good reason, because like I said, she was the glue in this match.
She was the glue. She was the glue that held it together.
Mm-hmm. All three girls look good though. It was a good match.
They all look great. Yeah.
I wish that Natty would have got the win.
I do too, but I understand why Roxy got it.
Well, yeah, they're just establishing her on the main roster, and she's a heel. But here's where my issue is. Okay, I don't have an issue with the fact that Lyra came out and jumped Becky. That's a good advancement of the story. She got taken out at the pay-per-view. She's costing Becky her shot.
Right.
Here's my issue. Becky manages to get back in the ring. I think she posted her or threw her into the guardrail. And Natty sets up Becky in the sharpshooter.
And then she pulled her out.
And she pulled her out. I'm like,
okay.
Okay, why would you'd want her to be in the hold and you want to see her lose? It'd be different if Becky was giving Natty that armbar thing she does, and then she pulls her out, or if Becky's going something on Roxy, or Roxy going something on Natty. It's just I don't understand why you would pull Becky out when she was in danger of losing.
Right.
You would think you would want her to lose and to get that humiliation. Which there's no shame in losing to Natty. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I mean.
No,
but
not at all. Yeah, I see where that would upset you. I can totally get that. And I wondered why she pulled her out. I was like, what?
Yeah, I was like, what? And I forget. I don't think Cole or McAfee said anything about it, but I was like, what the hell are you doing? You know?
Let it happen. Just let it. Look at her in her face and say, tap.
Yeah, pull the ropes back.
Exactly. Do something like that. Don't help her out.
No.
just for you to get kicked in the face and but
yeah. So that wasn't the last time we saw Roxy last night.
Yeah.
So Finn brings her. I guess she is the new prospect for the Judgment Day. From
okay.
Finn.
I was gonna say, I'm like, let's clarify this because
Finn has brought her in.
Mm-hmm.
And Roxy has presents. She gave Carlito a bag of apples, and she gave Dominic some chicken tendies.
Yes, chicken tendies.
Which, looking at those, made me hungry, even though I had just eaten dinner when I watched the show.
Raquel
was not having it. She's like, no. I don't like this one stinking bit. Liv isn't here.
Wait till I tell Liv. Yeah, wait till I tell Liv.
And Finn said, I can't wait.
Right.
So you're not the only pot stirrer around here, Minderz.
I'm not. And I kind of like it.
I did see somebody posted on social. It's like, if Dominic can land Roxanne, then put him in the Hall of Fame immediately.
Right. I saw that too. Because they actually had, there was
like a three-way picture.
Yeah, it was 4 of them. And the first
one was his wife too.
Was Dom and his wife. The second one was his ex. The third one was his girlfriend. And the fourth one was his side chick. And I was like, I mean, and they're all, I don't get why they're all fighting over him.
Just ask Wade Barrett. Wade thinks he's a Lothario and a ladies' man.
Well, maybe he is, but okay.
Who knows? Maybe he's got a sweet potato.
Fuck you. Damn you, I'd finally gotten the vision out of my head, and you had to bring it up.
If you want to know what I mean, go back and listen to our Angel interview.
Sunday. Yeah. Jackass.
That information unsolicited, by the way, from our friend the Kingpin.
That was completely given to us.
And a mental picture not seen.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
All right, let's get into the main event. It had Jay Uso. I almost said Jay Briscoe. What's wrong with me? Jay Uso and Braun Breaker. Good match.
It was actually better than I expected it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we get the fuckery at the end.
Well, I really thought we'd have fuckery throughout the whole thing. Honestly.
I was expecting it, yeah.
Yeah. So maybe the fact that it was just at the end made me enjoy this. See? I don't get it. Never understand it.
He's got that Latino heat like his dad.
I guess. But anyway.
But yeah, I was fully expecting some sort of a brawl because Sammy was there. It wound up being him and Punk and
I didn't realize Punk was there till.
Yeah, he didn't show till the end, but okay. Sammy was there. They showed Sammy. So they fight off, and as Jay is in the ring, out of nowhere, bam, right hand. Logan Paul knocked him out again. That's like the 4th time, I think, in the build-up to this.
4th time, yep.
But the Booze, no, he does not mind being a heel.
No, he does not. Not at all.
He does it very well. I mean, nobody likes this guy.
No.
I personally.
Problem is I was gonna say some of it's legit, some of it's just what he. Period.
Yeah.
But
the thing is, I can't be mad at Logan for what he's doing in the ring because he's putting the work in.
He is. He trains. He respects it. Which
he's a prick in real life, though.
He's just a prick. Well, kind of like Angel says, everything you are, what you are in the ring is usually times 10 of what you are in real life.
That's true.
So those are the best people.
Yeah. So. Hey, should we send the link to that video, that interview to Dickie?
Of course we should.
Because he asked us to ask about the Danbury Fall on that, and we did. So
we did. Or we'll just remind Dickie, go watch it. He might have already watched it. Who knows?
He might have. Who knows? I don't think he watched it live, but
no, he didn't watch it live.
He's a busy guy, so
he is.
I'm sure he found some time.
Well, they're probably recording tonight anyway.
I think they're recording Spot Show tonight.
Yep.
Oh, a Spot Show. Oh, Page Show too.
Page Show's fun. I like.
I haven't checked out Redline yet.
I haven't either. I've got it on my yeah.
Yeah.
Those boys over at Mad Bash are doing some crazy things.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Minderz, that brings us to Saturday. We got Saturday night's main event. And we got to do some predictions here. And I've got the matches in front of me. It's like we got 4 matches on Saturday. And we'll just...
Let me see what ones you have.
Okay, if I'm missing one, feel free to jump in.
Okay.
All right, first up, we just talked about Jey Uso and Logan Paul for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Right.
I don't see Logan winning.
I don't see Logan winning. I think it'll be Jay.
I do like the fact there's like every major heel on the show is chasing Jey Uso at the moment.
Right.
It really makes that belt seem important.
It does, and that's what it needs to be, though.
Yes. All right. Punk and Sammy against Rollins and Braun.
Here's the thing. I want Punk and Sammy to win.
Uh-huh.
But if they're going to keep this legit with Seth and Braun, they've got to win.
I think it's got to be Seth and Braun, and I think Seth pins Sammy.
Kevin says Logan better not win. Yeah, he better not win. That's all.
I don't see it. Although Bully said he could see by the end of the year he would be surprised if Logan had a major championship, i.e. a World Heavyweight Championship. Just for the heat itself.
Yeah.
And we would never hear the end of it.
No, we'd never hear the end of it.
No. All right, next up, cage match. Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. I want it to be Drew.
But I think it needs to be Damian.
It's got to be Priest. They got to build him up.
They've got to. He's already gotten beat by Drew twice.
Yeah, I like how this is the blow off that they're doing in a cage match on main event.
You mean they didn't start it off with a cage match?
What are you getting at, Minderz?
Making fun of AEW booking. How things
Hey,
start
we
off.
were nice to them already. We can give them a little bit of a
I'm being mean to them now. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're being snarky. You're not being mean necessarily. All right, then the last match I have, non-title, John Cena versus R-Truth.
Truth has to win. And
if it's non-title, I want it to be Truth.
I want it to be Truth so bad. I want it to be Truth so bad.
And maybe they'll get Truth a title shot.
Maybe. You're forgetting, isn't Becky and Lyra happening Saturday night too? I wrote these all down and I left my notes at home. There was 5 matches, I'm pretty sure.
Let me check, because I don't remember seeing that one, but...
There's a women's match.
Let's see, 4-1 is never wrong. Let's see, that only has 4. I'm just seeing the 4 matches. I'm not seeing anything about women's match.
I was thinking there was 5. I was really thinking there was 5.
No, I'm just seeing the 4.
But
yeah, that's on Saturday opposite the Collision, I guess. There's a lot of head-to-head this weekend between WWE and AEW. Because Sunday they're going, AEW's pay-per-view and Battleground, I think, are going head-to-head.
That's fine. I know which one I'm watching.
Yeah, I'm going to watch Battleground live, and then I'll go back and I'll watch the pay-per-view.
I guess it is only 4. I was thinking there was more than that.
Also 4 matches on Battleground.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll run these down here. Tony D'Angelo and Stax. Which I thought there'd be a stipulation on this, but it's just a straight up one-on-one match.
Isn't it in a cage?
I don't think so. Sean?
Yeah, where's Sean when we need him?
He was here. I saw him.
Was he?
Yeah,
he was in here earlier. I forgot, yeah. I was thinking there was a stipulation to that one.
No.
I don't know.
A singles match.
Oh, okay.
Okay. If it's one-on-one straight up, I'm going to go Stax with fuckery.
I don't want to make a decision until I watch NXT this week. I'm going to go D'Angelo.
Okay.
I'm going to go Tony. Just to be different, and it's fun when we don't agree.
Yeah. Agreeing is boring.
It It is.
All right.
And we pretty well agreed on everything with Saturday night main event.
Pretty much. I'm sorry, I misspoke. TNA Heavyweight Championship. Joe Hendry defending against Trick Williams.
Joe's going to keep it.
I think so. Part of me wouldn't be surprised to see Trick get it and have Hendry get it back, but
if Trick gets it, he's going to have to go get it on TNA. I don't think TNA is going to let them.
I'm surprised they haven't done some sort of a title switch yet with this working relationship they've had.
Well, I am too, but I don't think the TNA belt's going to get dropped on WWE television.
I'm inclined to think Joe's going to win.
Yeah. Even though there's part of me that I really kind of would like to see Trick win. But.
And make for exciting television on both shows.
It would.
All right. Women's Championship. Stephanie Vaquer defending against Jordan Grace. This is probably going to be match of the night.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Maybe. I mean.
Maybe.
There's all 4 of these are going to be good.
I think they're going to probably announce another match tonight.
They usually go 5.
Well, the reason I say that is because last week at the end of the show, Ricky Starks got taken out by Paige.
Ricky Saints.
Ricky Saints. Whatever.
Yeah, they don't have a tag match either.
Oh, Hank and Tank. I don't even know who that would go against right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but
unless it's Wesley's boys. But
who?
Wesley's boys.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin and
or Dark State, maybe.
Well, Dark State wasn't on last week, so I'm kind of curious where that's at. And that might lead to part of my... Okay. We talked about Joe Hendry and Trick Williams, correct?
We got to talk about the main event, don't we?
Well, no, but I'm thinking Dark State's going to show up during Joe Hendry and Trick.
Do you think they help Trick win?
I think they're going to. I think that's going to be the fuckery.
But I think pretty much a heel at this point.
I think they're going to get caught, and Joe's going to keep the belt. But that's going to be reason for a rematch to have on TNA's pay-per-view, premium live event, whatever you want to call it, for Trick to go and try to get the belt. Then Joe drops the belt to Trick.
I don't hate it. All right.
Me and my damn whiteboards.
Yep. All right. Main event Minderz NXT Championship. We talked about it a little bit. Miles Bourne and Obafemi. I don't see it coming off Oba anytime soon.
Well, I don't see it coming off of Oba, but I'll tell you what, that match is going to be really good. I think it's going to be so. Because I sent you a message today, and I said if you get a chance, go watch Dempsey versus Oba from last.
Which I'm going to do once we get off the air.
Because this is the Dempsey that we saw on Bloodsport. That was against Oba. Yes. So it was.
I like that Charlie Dempsey.
Oh, Kevin says you're being easy on me. It's because he already pissed me off earlier, so he has to be nice now.
Yeah, I can't be a sweet potato all the time.
No, you son of a bitch. Hate you?
Plus, I mean, if you watch the shootout, I made her wear a cowboy hat on the air last week.
He did. He watched it last week.
A Joey O'Reilly cowboy hat, which I gotta say looks sharp. You were styling. All you were missing was the chaps and the roughneck T-shirt.
There you go. Put my trauma unit in the corner. I'm happy camper.
All right, so yeah, that's
yeah. I don't see him taking it off of Oba.
No.
However,
there was something floating around that we were talking about last night regarding our friend Obafemi, because there was some speculation about maybe Oba coming up and joining up with a certain dangerous alliance at some point?
I said that.
You did. I'm giving you credit.
I'm like, wait a minute. Did I say this last night or did I say it today?
You said it in the chat at some point. It might have been.
Yeah,
today.
I know. I knew I did because I said, what would be? Well, I was trying to think because if he did, which I don't think he's going to drop it. Like I said, I don't think he's going to drop it to Miles, but I wouldn't be 100% against it. But that would give Oba the chance to go up because I feel like Oba is due. I think at draft he's going up.
I'm 100% sure of it. Yeah.
Oba's going to lead me to a ton of points in the Spot Show fantasy draft. Hi,
there's Dickie. Dickie, did you watch Angel?
Did you watch Angel? If not, I'll send you the link. It was great.
He answered your question.
Yeah, he did answer your question. But, yeah.
Do we dare tease Dickie that he might be getting a message from us in the near future?
He might be.
Might be. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
You might be really happy with the message.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Minderz, legally, we have to talk about Double or Nothing, which is happening on Sunday.
We do?
Yeah. Might as well.
Here's the problem. I haven't watched.
I watch highlights when I can.
Thanks, Dickie. He gave us props for our interview on Sunday.
Thank you, Dickie.
I thought it was a good interview, too.
It was a fun interview. Yeah, Jobu.
Okay.
I don't know what he's talking about. Okay.
I'm
Anyway.
talking about. I'm following that conversation completely.
All right. Double or Nothing, Minderz, is... I'm trying to remember where it's happening. Is it in Vegas?
I don't know.
It's usually in Vegas. Goes on with the whole casino.
It's Double or Nothing?
Yeah. 2025. And yeah, so we're going to have the finals of the Owen tournament. We're going to have football field fuckery here, Anarchy in the Arena, whatever it's called.
Football field fuckery. That's what we call it.
Well, if it's in Jacksonville, it's football field fuckery. If it's in an arena, then it's Anarchy in the Arena. Hey, the Cubs just scored another run.
No, it's in Arizona.
Oh, okay. Well, there's some casinos in Arizona, I'm sure.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Okay, will take place during Memorial Day weekend at the Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona.
Ah, right outside of Phoenix. It's going to be hot there.
Yeah.
Should we call it Hot to Trot?
No.
All right, well, let's run down the matches because as of right now, they have 7 matches announced. You know there's going to be more.
They're going to double that this
They got to
week,
announce
probably.
a couple, at least 2 pre-show matches on the show tomorrow, probably.
Or more.
Yeah. But let's just run through what we know. The Owen Hart Tournament Finals, Will Ospreay and Adam Page. You going with your buddy?
I am. I'm going to go with my buddy. I'm going to go with Ospreay, although I'm afraid he's not going to win, but I'm going with Ospreay.
I think they have to, just because the winner gets all in, and they want to sell tickets for, and Ospreay's the biggest babyface they got right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say Ospreay also. I don't know necessarily that he's going to win it all in, because there's still a part of me that thinks that belt has to go on Darby.
But Darby's not here.
But he could be here by whatever the hell the next pay-per-view is after
August.
All In.
Isn't it August?
All Out, I guess. But,
yeah.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, I'm not going to complain one bit if Ospreay wins the title off of Moxley at All In.
No, me either. Me either.
No. The women's Owen Hart Tournament final, Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter. I'm Porky Pigged it a little bit there because my autocorrect on my notes says Halter instead of Hayter. I got confused. I don't want it to be Mercedes. But I feel like that's what they're building to.
But I don't care enough about Jamie anymore.
Yeah, that story with her and Tony is come and gone.
It's gone.
Yeah. And I just have a feeling they want Tony and Mercedes at the big stadium show.
Probably.
Which, I mean, yeah, they're probably the two biggest names they've got. But I just don't want Mercedes to win the belt.
I don't either.
I don't care for her or her magazine.
Is that why she dropped? Is that why she dropped one belt so she could?
She's legally not allowed to have more than 4.
Yeah, she's not supposed to have more than 4. Honestly, I'm going to go with double count out, and there's fuckery, and
you can't do that in the tournament. You can't do that in the tournament. There's got to be a winner.
Fine, hater.
I hate to say I'm picking Mercedes. I think that's how Tony's wired.
I can't pick Mercedes.
Well,
not after the conversation we had with Julia, or not Julia, Camille at a Squared Circle.
Yes, yep. Julia.
Sorry,
who's on SmackDown now officially?
Yeah,
by the way.
And Roxy's officially on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
They both signed contracts.
Yes.
So.
Okay. Women's World Championship match: Toni Storm versus Mina Shirakawa.
Tony.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be Tony. Oh, another run. Ooh.
Would you stop watching baseball? Runs. I know AEW is not as entertaining as baseball.
5-1 Cubs in the top of the 6th inning.
Again, I know AEW is not as entertaining as baseball.
I love my Cubs. I think they're challenging this play at the plate. I think they're going to see if they can get that overturned. Anyway, I'll keep you posted. AEW World Tag Team Championship match: the Hurt Syndicate versus the Sons of Texas. Now, AJ sent a message asking why they were doing this Double or Nothing instead of All In, since it's the Sons of Texas and All In's in Texas. I think it's because they wouldn't want the Sons of Texas to lose in Texas.
Exactly.
That's my guess.
I don't see those belts coming off the Hurt Syndicate anytime soon.
No. I think there's some business to be done with the Hurt Syndicate and MJF.
The Sons of Texas, that's the Von Erich kids, isn't it?
No, that's Dustin and Guevara.
Oh,
the Ring of Honor Tag Champs.
Gotcha. I can't. Does that tell you anything? That's been how long it's been
Dustin and the Von Erichs are the Trios champions in Ring of Honor.
Okay.
But yeah, Sammy and Dustin are the Ring of Honor Tag Champs.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I think we both agree it's going to be the Hurt Syndicate here.
Yeah. And it's nothing against Dustin and Sammy.
No, of course not. I love Dustin. He's awesome. Plus, nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
We met him last year.
Yep.
All right. Next up, FTR versus Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. I'm surprised you let me get the whole sentence out before you made your pick, Minderz. I just don't want to see him job out McGuinness.
That's my biggest thing.
No, he's safe.
Didn't you hear what I said? I said I want Nigel to win.
I think FTR is going to win, but I just hope they pin Garcia. Maybe McGuinness will turn heel on Garcia.
And join FTR?
Join FTR.
Oh, okay. Damn you.
I know, teasing with a good time, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. You jackass.
Showing highlights of PCA. He's having a good season. All right. Next up, we have a stretcher match, which is probably not going to be as good as the one we watched on.
I was going to say, we watched a really good one last week.
Yeah, we did. Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe in a stretcher match. Now, I know who I want to win.
Mark and who?
Ricochet. I really want Mark Briscoe to win, but he seems like his role in the company is to not do that.
Right.
So I got a feeling it's going to be Ricochet with some sort of scissors and fuckery.
So who are you going with?
I'm going Ricochet, but do you think they have it where it's actually the medics wheeling the guy out, or is it going to be like when they roll each other, like they roll themselves out?
Lord only knows. It's not a stretcher match unless the EMTs roll them out, but I'm just saying.
With a backboard.
Right.
Like Andre the Giant and Killer Khan.
Yeah. I'm going with Mark just because I can't my right mind.
I hope you're right.
I hope I'm right too, but I don't think I am. But just to have fun.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. We definitely can't agree on these.
No.
Even though we're always right. But
yeah. Main event is the Anarchy in the Arena match.
Football field fuckery.
Team Moxley versus Team Swerve, and you said you found out who the teams are.
I did.
Okay,
hold on. I gotta bring my phone back up.
6-1 Cubs.
Okay, so Swerve. Okay, so they had it and then they changed it. So edit. I'm too stupid and I forgot about Gabe Kidd. Oh, Gabe Kidd though. Mm-hmm. I was kind of excited to see him.
I like that Gabe Kidd.
I do too. So they have. This is what I'm finding. I found it on Reddit, and they're never wrong, right? So Swerve. Okay, Swerve, Joe, Hook, Hobbs, Shibata, Kenny, and Willow.
That's like 7 people.
Yep. Against Moxley, Claudio, Yuta, Gabe, Young Bucks, and Marina.
It's supposed to be like 5-on-5.
Well, it's 7-on-7 apparently. Yeah, so now they're saying football field fuckery has always been 4-on-4 or 5-on-5. It'd be the first time they've done a 6-on-6 if they do that. I don't know.
Because what trumps fuckery than more fuckery?
Right, exactly. Which, okay, in my opinion, is really stupid. Because is this going to be in a different area again?
No, I think this is going to be in the arena and just like a false count anywhere.
Bullshit. Gotcha. Let's pull all of our spots. I know, right? Exactly.
Yeah, if you didn't catch our Sabu tribute episode of the Extreme F Review, then you missed out because it was us and Dickie. Just ran through 3 classic Sabu matches. And we had a blast. It was so fun.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
We went from being teary at the beginning to laughing our asses off at the end. It was great.
That's what it should be.
Yep.
It was a celebration of Sabu. That's what we built it as.
Which I will say, if you get a chance to on the RVD's YouTube, he did one because it started right after we got done. But he did a Sabu match or did a Sabu remembrance show.
Yeah.
And it was him and Taz, and I'm not sure who the other guy was. Because he was like just somebody running, like being the producer, I think. But it was really good. And I thought they would be like teary-eyed and remembering all these, but no, they were actually bringing up like funny things that happened. RVD was explaining the Kratos stuff when I tuned in.
Oh yeah.
About all that.
Yeah.
He took like 8 of them while he was on there with them. Yeah. Yeah.
I will throw in a plug also. Fonzie reached out. He shared a tweet that he put out. It says, "Hey, Daddy, tomorrow night we're honoring one of my great friends and a true legend in the business that we all love so much, the great Sabu. And apparently it's going to be him, Van Dam, and Dominic D'Angelo."
That's it. That was the guy that was on Rob's too.
Okay, maybe that's what it was, but yeah, it's going to be. I guess it's going to be on Van Dam's channel.
Yep. It was that Dominic guy.
Yeah, but I don't think it's on YouTube. It's on rvdtv.com.
Yeah, it's on his YouTube page though, because that's where I pulled it. That's where I saw it.
Okay.
But yeah, see, Dickie knows RVD took like 30 pills to prove a point. He did. It was nuts. He I was like, okay, alrighty then. This is what we're doing. Okay.
For those wondering, it is now 8-1 Cubs in the 6th inning.
We did. Where were you, Sean? We needed you.
Real quick, we pretty much agreed on these too, didn't we? On the Yeah, so we both picked Oba, Trick, or I'm sorry, Joe. Tony, I picked Stacks. You picked Tony D. Did we pick a winner for Stephanie and Jordan?
I don't think so.
I'm picking Stephanie.
I got Jordan.
Okay. All right. Problem solved.
Is that supposed to be Go Cubs?
What?
Is that supposed to be Go Cubs? Go Cats!
Unless he's saying cards in a Boston accent.
Maybe.
Go Cats.
Go Cats!
Go Cubs, go.
Mm-hmm.
Fly the W. All right. Anyway, so let's at least we pay some bills real quick, Minderz, and we'll come back.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. The Cubs will still be in the 6th inning by the time we go off the air.
I gotta send you something if you want a good chuckle.
I always want a good chuckle.
Okay, well I send it to you. There you go.
Okay. Hey Minderz, we got a new country in our listener list, and I've never heard of it before.
I was gonna say, is it a country we've heard of? What is it?
I'm hoping I pronounce this right. Seychelles. It's a island nation off the Indian Ocean.
Wow, I like it.
Yep. Also Turkey, the Netherlands. I do want to extend it. Ukraine, Hungary, Russia, Serbia. So we're circling the globe.
We're still
Minderz.
international.
Oh.
I knew you'd appreciate that.
Uh-huh.
So let's extend this show out as long as
let's push as far as we can. Sean says if Jordan doesn't beat Stephanie, then who will? It might still be Jordan later.
Yeah, it might still be Jordan.
I just don't think it'll be Jordan. I think they still got some miles to put on Stephanie as champ. Dickie, we're kidding.
We won't make the show longer than it already is. It's fine.
I do have something had popped into my head, Minderz, because remember when Tony and AEW made such a big deal out of the 4 pillars back in the day?
Yes.
And it was Darby and Jungle Boy, Sammy and MJF, I think, were their 4 pillars.
Yes.
And Britt honorarily.
Wait, who did you have? Wait, who else did you say?
Darby.
Uh-huh.
Jack.
Yeah.
MJF.
Yep.
And Guevara.
Yes. Okay.
That's the sturdiest of pillars, to be fair. But it got me thinking, and it kind of goes along with what we were talking with Dickie about Mount Rushmore, talking about ECW on Thursday. Mm-hmm. If you had to go with 4 pillars for like the major company, like from when we were like kids, like WWF, WCW, what would it be? Because you got to go through the whole history of the companies when you're naming pillars, specifically toward the beginning, like the.
So we're going back to, let's say, the 80s.
Well, with the WWF, you can go back to the 60s.
Well, I know, but I might know my I don't know my WWF.
Okay. Well,
stuff as well as I know my WWF.
Okay. So start with WWF. I'll let you go first.
Can we do one at a time?
Let's do one at a time.
Think about this because you kind of brought this on me all at once. So,
well,
I think you have to go with Hogan. I think you do have to go with Hogan.
Go with Hogan?
Just not because of how he is now or anything like that, but at the time, that was who was selling. He was selling tickets.
He was the draw.
He was the draw.
Now, along those lines, I would say Bruno Sammartino.
Very true. But
now, are we talking regionally or globally? Because Bruno was the big deal when they were still a regional territory.
I think we need to go global, in my opinion. Okay. This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking earliest would be like WrestleMania 1.
So we're going to the WrestleMania era on.
Yes.
We can do that.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, let's do that. So we got Hogan.
Right. Who would you put?
I gotta go Austin.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. I thought we were just going to go like WrestleMania 1 to like 9.
Oh, shoot, we can do that. Okay.
1 to 10, then 10 to...
Well, in that case, I'm going Andre.
Okay. Okay, so we've got those two. I gotta think. You gotta go. Steiners?
I don't think they were there long enough. I mean, they didn't really make a big impact necessarily.
Okay, Scott's got a good point, and I'm surprised you didn't go there first, and that's Savage.
Well, yeah. I mean, Savage, I think, is a great call there, especially for that period.
What about Piper?
Again, he was only there for a couple of years.
He was, but think of the impact he made, though.
He did make an impact, but
I mean, because if you're going with who, okay, then who are our jobbers that would hold it down?
True. I mean, you could always go Warrior.
No.
I mean, he was a draw. I mean,
no.
He's not my pick. I'm no fan of the Warrior, but
I would rather go Haku before I went Warrior.
Well,
and I like Haku.
Can I throw one out just because you might think it's ridiculous, but I think it is a valid suggestion?
Bring it.
Tito Santana.
I'm fine with that. I would be perfectly fine with that.
I mean, he was the first match on the first WrestleMania, and he worked with all of the major heels.
I would say he worked with everybody.
He worked with everybody and always had a good match.
Well, or do you put... Okay. Dickie has put his up. He says Hogan, Savage, Andre, and Piper. So.
Well, Piper, I think, is the sexy choice. Because everybody loves
Jake?
Piper.
What about Roberts? I thought about Ricky Steamboat, too. Kevin put that one up.
Yeah. Again, if you're going just from like 85 to 88, definitely.
Right.
But we're adding that to 93 period.
Right.
So that's why I went Tito, because he was there that entire period also.
But see, that's also... But then you're missing... Because Brett was there at the end of that.
Yeah, Brett had just started doing the single stuff in 91.
Right. Maybe I should have picked a different era here, but...
So this is the same thing you said about that ECW one. It's like after the first three, that's when the debate starts.
3, and then the debate comes in.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Say you just took a bounced baseball off his Panucci's. I hope he's wearing a cup. He's all right. He's walking. He's good.
Okay. All right. Walk it off. Rub some dirt in it.
How do you say walk it off in Japanese?
Can we take this down? This is getting obnoxious.
Is it getting obnoxious? Okay.
A little bit. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, that would be where I would go. See, because I feel like you need to look at the different eras. So then, like, you need to look.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to throw this out there. Andre.
Mm-hmm.
He was, if you were going to go like to the 70s when he first broke in and was working for Vince Sr., I don't know if you could put him as a pillar because he was such an attraction. He went everywhere. He wasn't just a WWF guy.
Right.
Now, 85 to 93. He was there the whole time. He wasn't active the whole time.
Right. He was an attraction.
He was the attraction. I'll go one better. He was the attraction.
He was the attraction.
Does Hogan draw 93,000 people if he's not wrestling Andre at WrestleMania 3?
No.
Do you think Andre knew that? Got a shitload of money?
Well, here's the thing, though. We don't know that because we don't know what the story would have been.
I feel like if it wasn't Andre, it probably would have been Orndorff with Hogan.
Well,
they had just had the cage match.
But would Orndorff have drawn that many?
No.
Yeah, that's my thought too.
They might have filled up Cobo Hall, but I mean, hey, that's not a knock on Cobo Hall's a big place.
Oh, I know. It's just funny.
The house that the Sheik built.
Andre transcends the house. Transcends the house.
Andre's maybe we should look at it this way. We got 4 pillars, then Andre's the building.
There you go.
Okay, let's take Andre out.
Okay.
So we got Hogan, Savage, Piper, Tito.
I can live with that.
Okay, that works.
I can live with that.
All right, success. All right, now if we were talking WCW.
All right, this is where you and I are going to have
discussions
just because I didn't watch a whole lot of WCW growing up.
Okay, now this case, I'm gonna set the parameter here.
Okay.
I'm gonna say from 89 to 01. Around the 89 is around the time that Turner bought the company.
Okay.
So that's where we'll start there. First one.
Let me go first, so that way I can get the one I feel is obvious.
Hang on. Okay, because I was probably going to be the same one I was going to say first. But go ahead.
I was going to go Ric Flair.
Oh, see, I wasn't going to go Ric Flair.
Oh, okay.
But Flair's a natural choice.
Right.
I was going to say Sting.
Okay. Well, there you go. Those are the exact 2 people that, in my opinion, it's probably unpopular, and I'm probably going to catch some heat for it. Sting and Rick, when they fought each other, their story, I felt like they were the quote-unquote Andre Hogan of WWE. Like, that was the 2 things that kind of coincided with me. Does that make sense?
I would say they were more the Hogan Savage.
Well, I get it. I get what you're saying. But to me, as being somebody that, well, there you go.
Dickie, Flair, DDP, Sting, Hogan. Not a bad. If we're covering the entire length of WCW, that's the
entire length, because you said 91 to what?
89 to 01.
89 to 01. See, because Hogan there? He wasn't even there yet, was he?
Hogan was there in 94.
You said the 91.
No, 01.
Oh,
2001. Yeah, just the whole length of the run until they got bought out by Vince.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Scott suggests Flair, Sting, Luger, and the Steiners. So if you're just going like 89 to 95, 89 to 94, I would definitely go with that.
Okay, so like I said, like Flair to me has always been the WCW guy. Even when he came to WW, even when he came to WWF, I still looked at him as a WCW. He was an outsider.
Sting was the franchise of WCW. They always called him that.
Right.
No disrespect to Shane Douglas. That's what Jim Ross said on commentary before. He called it the franchise. Flair and Sting are naturals. If you're going tag teams, I feel like you should throw Harlem Heat in the discussion.
I was gonna say Harlem Heat, actually, because again, Steiner's traveled back and forth between both, or was on both. Where Harlem Heat,
they were there the whole time. They never left.
Well, I know they never left WCW. So to me, that's a WCW person. The other one that I wonder if you shouldn't put in that mix would be like either Hoovy or Eddie.
If you're going luchadors, I would go Ray.
Go Ray.
Again, he was there from 96 till the end of it, and he's kind of the guy they built that cruiserweight division around.
Like I said,
Yeah, because Eddie was only there from 95 to 2000.
Well,
95 to 99, before. Technically.
What? Yeah. I know he left before they bought out, but
I think if I had to settle on one, I think I'm going to go with Dickie. I'm going to say Flair, Page, Sting, and Hogan.
Say GDP definitely belongs on there.
Mm-hmm. And as much as I don't like Hogan, I mean, he made waves when he got there. He was, especially with the NWO stuff. I feel like you have to have some sort of NWO representation on there.
You do, yeah.
I know Sting was in the Wolfpack, but that doesn't count. Tomato Face Sting is not on our 4 pillars.
Right. All right. So now what one?
All
because we're probably going to get into some that I'm going to be like, oh.
All right, we're going to get kind of, and I think we're going to pop Dickie on this one. We already did ECW on the Sabu show, so we're not going to do that one. But let's go TNA.
See?
Dickie.
But Dickie said Booker needs to be on there too, but he broke out later.
Now there is the Grand Slam clause here that there could be an argument Sting, Luger, Page, and Booker, because all 4 of those guys held every championship in the company.
Yeah.
Which I think I actually made that point to bust it open once when they were talking about WCW's Mount Rushmore. But
of course you did.
And I may have popped Dreamer. And Dreamer may have said I had a good point. But anyway.
Not that you remember it verbatim exactly what they said, but yeah.
I wish I could remember the date. I had to look for it on there. But anyway, TNA.
See, this is where you're going to lose me a little bit.
Okay. And I'm thinking, if for pillars, it's got to be early, so like 02 to 08, I think. There's a comment. I bet this is already Dickie with his.
Yes.
Yep.
Sure is. He said easy.
AJ, Abyss, Sting, Angle. Good list. I feel like
I think yes.
Jarrett. Jarrett has to be on there.
That was actually what I was going to suggest. Jarrett. I was going to suggest Jarrett.
Yeah, there's an argument for Jarrett. There's an argument for Raven. To be honest with you.
What about Lashley?
He wasn't there yet.
Oh, okay, so we're talking. Okay.
Like 02 to 08. He wasn't there till like 2010, I think.
Okay.
Christian
AJ
had a good run there.
Though. Christian had a good run there.
AJ definitely. Joe.
Joe.
What's the problem with having 4 pillars? Why can't we have 9?
Right. Oh. Madrox is in. Raven, Styles, Joe, and Sting.
I like that list, but I still feel like there needs to be a spot for Jarrett in there. Oh wait, he was there for that cup of coffee when he feuded with Steiner. That's right.
That cup of coffee. The cup of coffees don't count apparently in this one. I mean, I'm okay with all of this actually.
Yeah, I don't think Lashley had made quite the impact. Like when he had that run, if we're talking Impact Wrestling, then he's definitely on there because he was pretty much untouchable from like 2014, 2015 period.
Oh, nice.
Like he was the guy.
Yeah.
He would have held all the belts at once. But for the 02 to 08 period, I think if I had to pick 4 pillars here, I go AJ, I go Jarrett, I go Joe.
Madrox says Jarrett's the foundation.
That's true. He's got the Andre spot.
So he's got the Andre spot.
Okay.
So there you go.
Okay. So take Jarrett
that solves it. That solves it.
So I'll go AJ. I'll go Raven. I'll go. Excuse me. Sting was only there from 06 to 08 at this point. And so was Angle. They're only there for a couple of years. So I'm gonna go like old school, like the guys that were there for a while. So I'm gonna go AJ. I'm gonna go Raven. I'm gonna go Truth.
Yeah.
Ron Killings, and AMW, America's Most Wanted.
That makes sense. I know all those people. That surprises me, honestly.
Did I miss anybody?
Oh, I'm sure. I kind of like the Abyss. I do like the
Abyss call too, because he was there for a while.
Mm-hmm. if we're going to throw a female in there, and nobody will probably agree with me on this.
Can I guess?
Who?
Gail Kim?
No, and that's why I said nobody's going to agree with me on this.
What are you thinking?
I think Daphne deserves her flowers somewhere, and
Daphne.
Daphne.
I love Daphne.
I think she deserves her flowers somewhere. So
I don't know if I call her a pillar. I do agree she should get her flowers. She could be the gazebo outside of the building.
Okay. I'm okay with that. Run killings probably should be on there somewhere.
Yep, I got them on there.
Dusty.
Red shirt security were the backbone. Okay, that popped me. Suck it, Atlas security.
All right. What other one do you got?
The last one I got is Ring of Honor. And
you're killing me, Paul.
All right. Now this one.
Yeah, where are we going? Because I may not know all the years.
I'm thinking like 02 to 07, like up until they got pay-per-view.
Okay.
So here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Homicide.
Okay.
Samoa Joe.
Okay.
I'm thinking possibly Punk. Because Punk was a big deal.
Madrox has a point. Yeah. So she's the flowers outside. It's fine.
Yes. All right. So Homicide, Joe, Danielson is a given. Main event of the first show. And I'll say Chris Daniels.
Okay.
All those guys were there in that first year and were all a big part of the show. Oh, sorry. Let me get this down.
Yeah, thanks. I'm checking my dates, so hold on a second. Okay, you need to talk, because if you don't, we're going to sound like Madrox.
Dickie throws in, he says, Punk, Joe, Homicide, Danielson.
Basically the same thing you just said.
The only difference is I had Daniels instead of Punk, but...
Right.
But Punk is a hell of a call, though, because he was... Number one, he was the best heel in the company at one point. He was the top babyface. He was the top promo. And he was also world champion, too. So he's definitely got a case to made there. And it was hard for me not to find a spot for Low-Ki, to be honest with you.
Okay. I'm going to call this one out there.
Okay.
What about the Briscoes?
Oh. I'm really mad at myself right now that I didn't think of the Briscoes. See, I'm not usually thinking tag teams for pillars. That's the thing.
See, thank you, Dickie. Thank you, Dickie.
Raven. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Raven had a good run with Punk in 03 for sure. I'm going to adjust Nigel. I like Nigel. I don't think he really popped until after they got on pay-per-view. Like for the time period we're talking, I don't think I'd put Nigel on there. I'm going to adjust my list. I'm going to say Joe, Homicide, Danielson, and the Briscoes.
Nah, I think the Briscoes deserve to be on there.
They got it. They could be.
I mean, they could be the foundation, honestly.
Yeah.
They really could.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all the pillars I had lined up. We can always revisit this with the territories if I give you enough time to do some homework.
Yeah, you gotta give me time to do homework.
I kind of sprung this on you last minute there, so sorry about that.
Well, I knew we had talked about it, but I didn't realize we were doing it. So
well, we didn't have a guest, so I want to make sure we had content for the episode.
Is this PWI week?
This is PWI week. It's funny. You should ask me that, Minderz.
Raven and Punk.
All right.
Damn it, Dickie. Matt Bash Wrestling Pillars.
Dalton Davis.
Yep.
Colby Jack. Clayton Clark. Jason Levi. I'm kidding. Oliver Kane.
There you go. I like that list.
Pillars of JCW. Are you talking Juggalo or Jersey Championship Wrestling? Mad Rocks.
I don't know enough Mad Rocks. I'd have to do some homework.
And if we do this, we'll make this a segment, but we'll do one. We won't do like a handful of them.
Right? No, I think what we need to do is maybe we should do pillars of like tag teams in different ones. Women have a bunch of different pillars.
We can do that.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. All right. But in the meantime, Minderz, it is time for the Pro Wrestling Illustrated Flashback. And I do apologize. I have the lists. I didn't have time to make the graphics like I usually do. But I do have all the lists handy, so we can go through them.
Bad Rock said Juggalo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got to.
We had to do some research.
Corporal Robinson. That's the only one I can think off the top of my head. So our time frame this time, I picked this because I was hoping we were going to get early ECW on here, but they weren't on. They didn't make the issue. But this is the January '94 issue from September 1993.
About that time, Eddie Gilbert would have been on there somewhere.
Right, because September '93 is when Paulie took over the book.
Yeah.
Which I started watching some of those.
Aren't they fun?
They are. I was bummed. I was trying to find Hunter Q. Robbins III.
Mm-hmm.
He died.
Oh no!
I was going to get him on the pod and talk about Sabu, but I like that guy. He was a fun snooty manager.
He was a very snooty manager. Disgusting choice.
All right. So we got our top. Start with the top 10 as we always do. Okay. Big Van Vader number 1.
Nice. Okay. All right.
So some big boys in the top 3. You got Vader, Yokozuna, and Undertaker 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Then you got Razor Ramon 4. This is when he was just turned babyface in WWF.
Okay.
Dustin Rhodes at 5. See 93. I think he was U.S. champion at this point in September '93. Bret Hart 6. I thought he'd be higher, to be honest with you.
Well, it looks like he fell.
He fell 2 spots. He also was not holding a title at this point.
Nah.
Let's see. Ric Flair 7. After not being on the list, this is when he came back to WCW.
Okay.
And he just started getting his feet back in. Luger at number 8. This is right when he started doing the USA gimmick.
Ugh.
September was right after SummerSlam.
Lex Express.
The Lex Express, indeed. Jerry the King Lawler, number 9. Again, this is when he was feuding with Brett. Rick Rude took a tumble from 8 down to 10.
No, that's 6.
6. Oh, I get my eyes checked. I think he may have been hurt a little bit. Yeah. So strong list though.
Yeah, very good list.
Yes. Let's talk about our tag teams.
All right.
Oh shit. Let's see.
See what you did to yourself.
Hang on, I got this.
I see. Okay. Jacques
there we go. I got it.
Okay.
So you got the Quebecers, number 1.
Yes.
Too Cool Scorpio and Marcus Bagwell, number 2 from WCW. They jumped up. They went from 5 to 2.
Yeah.
Nasty Boys, number 3. And the Steiner Brothers at 4. Both those two went down a spot to get Bagwell and Morton or Scorpio up. Rock and Roll Express, number 5. The Heavenly Bodies, Del Rey and Pritchard, number 6. Okay, Mike Anthony and Spike, number 7. They were not listed the previous issue. Not real familiar with them, but I'm sure I would if I saw them. That might be from like Global. Fatu and Samu, Head Shrinkers, number 8. Mm-hmm. The Armstrongs, number 9, Scott and Steve. And the Bruise Brothers, Ron and Don Harris, are number 10. All right. What do we got? Let's go most popular. So number 1 is Luger. Again, he just turned babyface, so the bloom was still on the rose at this point.
Well, and he didn't. He didn't move. He didn't change.
No.
You got Sting.
Yep, Sting number 2. Thank you.
I'm assuming you got sidetracked by your baseball game.
I got sidetracked by the fact that my feed froze.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Anyway, yeah. So Sting's number 2. I mean, naturally, most popular. He's always going to be up there.
Mm-hmm.
Brett number 3.
Yep.
Razor number 4. He wasn't on the list last issue because he was still a heel, I think.
Right.
Dustin number 5 again. He was number 6 last issue. Davey Boy Smith number 6. Macho number 7. Tatanka number 8. He was still in the throes of his undefeated streak at this point, I believe.
Okay.
Ric Flair was a babyface at this point in WCW. He was 9. This is around the time he and Arn were feuding with the Hollywood Blondes.
Matrax says Armstrong's on the list is amazing.
Yes. And number 10's Doink.
Matt Bourne.
Freshly babyface Doink the Clown with Dink. This might be pre-Dink.
I don't remember.
That's a funny way to say it. Pre-Dink. All right. And if we do most popular, we got to do most hated.
Crush.
And, Crush number 1. This is when he turned on Savage.
Oh, yeah.
And went with Mr. Fuji when he still had the glorious mullet, but this time he put the face paint back on.
Yep.
All right. Number 2, the King. Everybody hated the King.
Everybody hates the King. Yep.
Vader number 3.
Yep.
Yoko 4. This is when he was world champ, of course. Shawn Michaels number 5. I thought he'd be higher, to be honest with you, because nobody liked Shawn Michaels at this point.
No.
Rick Rude 6.
Pre-Dink if it was Matt.
What?
Pre-Dink if it was Matt. And it said Matt Bourne.
Yeah,
so.
Dink was Ray Apollo.
Pre-Dink.
That's right. All right. Sid Vicious number 7.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Brian Lee number 8. This is when he was in Smoky Mountain.
Okay.
Lord Steven Regal number 9. I love Regal.
I was going to say, how could he be on the most hated?
Because he was a
dastardly British heel. He was doing his job.
And then Steve Austin number 10. I'm a little surprised by that. But I think this is right after the Hollywood Blondes wrapped up, so maybe he was getting back into the singles hate.
Yeah, I was going to say, because he didn't have a previous position. So
no, because he would have been in the tag teams.
Yep.
All right, now we get into territories, starting with the WWF. Champion Yokozuna, of course.
Yep.
Razor is number 1 because I believe he was Intercontinental Champion or close to it at this point.
Gotcha.
Because at some point, Shawn got stripped of the belt because he wasn't showing up, so then Razor won the Battle Royal.
Got it.
Undertaker number 2. Brett 3. Luger 4. Your favorite, Minderz, Ludwig Borga, number 5.
Hate that guy.
Well, he hates everybody.
Oh, I know he does.
Rick Martel, number 6. IRS, number 7. All 3 of them, Borga, Martel, and Shyster, were not listed last issue. Mr. Perfect, number 8. The King, number 9. 123 Kid, number 10. That must have been from beating Razor that he got the rub a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, he was pretty popular right after he beat Razor.
Oh, yeah. Everybody loves an underdog.
Yep.
All right, WCW. Vader is the champion, of course. Dustin Rhodes, U.S. champion, number 1. Ricky Steamboat, number 2. Sid Vicious, number 3. This must have been right around the time that he stabbed Arn with the scissors. Rude, number 4. Regal, 5. I think Regal might have been TV champ at this point. Just thinking off the top of my head. If I'm wrong, Dickie or Mad Rocks, feel free to correct me. Borga, oof. Yes.
Yes, we agree.
Cactus Jack is number 6.
They didn't kayfabe Mr. Perfect, damn insiders.
No, Cactus, I think it was feuding with Vader at this point. Around the time of the amnesia angle and all that stuff. Flair, number 7. Sting, 8. I gotta say, that's low for Sting.
That is low for Sting.
Mr. Wonderful. They call him Mr. Wonderful. Paul Orndorff, number 9. And Ice Train, number 10. And I'm trying to remember if this was before or after Pretty Wonderful.
I'm not sure.
I think it might be during or right before. Because in 93, Roma would have just left the Horsemen. There's my whiteboard.
Right?
All right. Next up, we've got USWA for all you Memphis fans out there. Oh, nope. That's the wrong one. USWA. There we go. Okay. Randy Savage was the champ. I think this was the McMemphis storyline when Vince and the WWF guys showed up in Memphis.
Gotcha.
Number 1 contender, Jeff Jarrett. Number 2, Jerry Lawler, naturally. He's always going to be right up there. Wildfire Tommy Rich, number 3.
Wildfire.
Somebody say something about Wildfire. I do a horrible Tommy Rich impression.
You do. You do a terrible one.
Oh, the Cackling Buffoon, Brian Christopher, number 4. That's not his actual nickname, but when he would do that cackle, is just you want to slap him. Doug Gilbert, Jim Cornette's favorite wrestler, number 5.
Yep.
The Rock and Roll Phantom. I need to see more of this guy, number 6, because I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the Kiss Demon. This is the Rock and Roll Phantom.
Okay.
American Eagle 1, which suggests there's an American Eagle 2.
Right.
Spellbinder.
I was going to say, I'm laughing at Spellbinder.
Bull Payne, maybe the scariest man I've ever seen in person.
Really?
Oh, he was.
Look.
I knew him as a deathmatch guy from Milwaukee. He was in ECW back in the early 90s.
Damn death matches.
Well,
Wolfie D!
And Wolfie D. Yes, one half of PG-13. No JC Ice, though.
No JC Ice.
No. Then the last one I got, Minderz, Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Our friend and yours, Jim Cornette.
Yes.
Yeah, I love Ice Train. I was a big Fire and Ice fan. Mad Rocks back in the day. Ice Train and Scott Norton.
Yep.
All right. Smoky Mountain, the champion is Brian Lee at this point. White Lightning, Tim Horner, number 1. Our buddy Tracy Smothers, number 2. The Wild-Eyed Southern Boy. The Dirty White Boy, Tony Anthony, number 3. No Gimmicks Needed, Chris Dandito. I said Dandito. Chris Candido, number 4.
You did say Dandito.
Funny when people named Dan that throw us off so.
You mean like Dan Malenko?
Yeah. Bobby Blaze, number 5. The Bullet, Bob Armstrong, number 6. Gigolo Jimmy Del Rey, number 7.
Yep. Ricky.
Ricky Morton, number 8. Killer Kyle, number 9. That's an interesting fella. And then Steve Armstrong, number 10. Because Smoky Mountain was awash with Armstrongs at that point. Because Bullet was the commissioner. Then his boys would come up and help him fight off the Heavenly Bodies and Cornette at the drop of a cat. And
Madrox says, it's okay. I miss Kenny Chaos.
And Robbie Rage. Don't forget Robbie Rage.
Right.
Where's our Mount Rushmore WCW mid-card tag teams from the 90s? I think that's got to be, that should be a paid show. I'm just throwing it out there.
Paid show. Paid show.
Where are they now? Okay. They're up 9-1 last I checked. I think this is pretty much, I can turn that off.
You're good.
Okay. Well, next week, Minderz, I don't believe we have a guest. So it'll be just a lot of reacting to the stuff we predicted today.
I'll be in Florida, so.
You'll be in Florida.
Unless I call an audible and tell you I won't make it on the show because I might go to NXT.
Yeah. Well, if that happens, then we'll throw up a JT archive and WCW Jobbers Pillars.
There you go.
Does Wildcat Willie count as a jobber? Where's my schedule here?
Yeah, more than likely next week I'll just be running from Florida. You know, because I got to go to Marvine's.
His palatial estate in Florida.
Yeah. Shadow play! You're late, babe.
Well, he might be busy.
I get it. Go back and listen. It was really good.
This is a fun one.
And you got to catch Angel from Sunday.
Yes, and our Sabu tribute. Let's go back to the JTR Podcast Network's YouTube channel. See all the stuff that we've done in the last few days.
Next week
You know what? I've thought about it. I've considered trying to get Lodi. I can't get him though. I might be able to get.
He's not the network queen.
If it's not too short notice, I might be able to get Johnny Swinger though.
Well, there you go.
I'd have to see.
Although if that's the case, I might let Dickie go ahead and take it. Let Dickie and Madrox join you.
There you go.
There you go. All right. Thanks, Shadowplay. Miss you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, like I said, next week we'll break down Double or Nothing and Battleground main event. We should. We have to have some reason to do our side eyes and our sad Lithgows.
That's true. That's true. Exactly.
Expedition 33. I'm not familiar with that one, but I'm not big on video games, which is my curse. Tomorrow, independent wrestling shootout. What are we talking about tomorrow, Minderz? Talking about the Veterans Memorial Cup, I know.
Mm-hmm. We need to push
PWI
Blue Album.
Yep, we got the Blue Album coming up. We're going to talk about that more next Wednesday also, because I'm going to be joined by Dickie Wabash.
You will not have me here. I might be listening, but
right. You might be making snarky comments in the chat.
I'm really good at that.
You really are. It's a gift.
It is.
Yep. And then, of course, the Extreme F and Review podcast will be dropping on Friday morning at 9 a.m. on Amazon, Audible, and Spotify. And we had to postpone Gold Rush. We're going to have that coming up this week on Friday on YouTube. We're planning on it dropping at about 6 o'clock p.m. It won't be live, but it'll be dropping at 6 p.m. on YouTube Friday night.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. In the meantime, I mean, we're getting out of here at a reasonable hour. It's coming in right under 2 hours. I'm pretty impressed with this at this point. Uh-oh.
Oh wow! Shadowplay's got notes.
Oh. It's 20 years stage. Which played a vampire and Blade Trinity. Okay, Madrox, you're getting a little. Thank Abbott can even join along as he cuts his nipples out of his shirt. Well, even if you can't, I can always do that myself.
No. All right, let's get out of here. We're meandering.
We are a little bit. Thanks everybody for joining us this week on the Jumping the Rail podcast. Until next time, for Minderz, this is Reb reminding you all life is hard, work stiff, and we'll see you guys next.
Thanks, guys.